So in your CCA, poster presentation is there, and in your LCA, problem solving activity is there. So for CCA component poster presentation, you have to make. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
सर ऍक्च्युली माझं इंटरनेट कनेक्शन गेल्यामुळे मला अटेंडन्स लावता आली नाही. कुणाल PC65.
1 minute, Kunal.
Yes, sir.
This Kunal Sarpale.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Okay, done.
Thank
So
you, sir.
there, yeah. Can you see my screen, Kunal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we are discussing about the poster presentation activity. So in poster presentation, I have given you based on your SPM problem statement. By considering these three important tables of risk management, you have to make one poster. This poster you have already prepared in SEPM related to different categories of risk: catastrophic, critical, marginal, negligible. Okay. So this table indicates the impact of each risk drivers on risk component table. So considering your problem statement, which will be the type of the risk you have identified, the performance, support, cost, and schedule, how it impact on these components of these risks. So considering these four type of the risk is it may impact on performance parameter of your project, support parameter, cost, and schedule. So you have to prepare this table. Okay, the explanation, detailed explanation is given. If you go through it, performance risk, what need to be considered in this? Like performance, you need to consider the degree of uncertainty about the product, which meets all the requirement of a customer. How all the requirements are fulfilled in your product. So that part is considered in a performance. So when we say a good performance, so if there is all the customer requirements are satisfied and product is working as per the customer's requirement as per the customer's expectations. I can consider in performance. Similarly, for other parameters, you need to consider. The next table is developing the risk table. So this developing a risk table consists of again a type of the risk, and under this type of the risk, which category in which category this risk comes, and the probability of occurrences of that risk will be considered here. The impact of that risk and RMM, risk mitigation monitoring management plan for that particular risk. So this way you are developing a risk tables. Okay. So this is second table, and third table is a general idea about four types of approaches of risk management in software risk management. So what they will do first, they will identify, make a list of risks, then they will make an action plan on that particular risk, then they will make a strategical model to remove that risk, and then the finally strategic analysis of that risk. So this way it is happen. So majorly you need to focus on two table. This is a risk component table and this is developing risk table. So this table you have to prepare in your posters. So for here poster, what you need to do, you can take in Word itself or in any PowerPoint presentation, you can make these two tables and you can represent it in two different slides, two to three slides. You can make this poster presentation. So what you need to explain, you have to first explain your problem statement. After explaining your problem statement, you can consider this risk component table and this developing risk table. These tables you have to explain in the posters. Okay, physically no need to draw these particular tables, but you can make a soft copy of it in Word or in PowerPoint, right? Karthik,
Yes, sir.
yeah, others. So this is your poster presentation activity for risk management, and this is 10 marks activity for your CCA component. The next important activity, problem solving for LCA component. So in this LCA, there is a plan, that is IT project quality management plan. So this one reference is given as a template to understand about how to make the quality management plan for any software project. So what need to be considered in a project quality management plan? So they will mention the project title. So you can mention your project title is problem statement, your project number, you can mention the anticipated start date, you can explain the manager or leader from that project, then preparation date, then the sponsor. So you have to fill these information here, and you have to make one particular template, one particular quality management plan. So considering the quality management strategies, what need to be considered? Quality planning. Okay, project planning process is considered in a quality planning. So this way the tables are given, these objectives, quality review, quality measures, quality evaluation methods which are used. So this is a detailed template is given. When you go through this template, so similarly for a problem statement, identifying your problem statement, you have to consider the quality assurance things, all these parameters, and make one particular unique quality management plan for your problem statement, like quality assurance, quality controls. So in quality control, what I need to consider in quality control, which project deliverables are there, then deliverable quality standards which are satisfied, which are considered, customer satisfaction, quality control activities are there, frequency of it, who is responsible for it. You can mention the name of it here. Okay, who has done that. Then verification and validation. Again, it is important for to check the quality of the product. Verification and validation. Then quality tools, cost benefit analysis, controlling chart, benchmarking, design experiments. So this way you have considered quality tools, which is more suitable. Like we have also seen Six Sigma activities for quality checking, quality audits, process analysis. The next, quality control and assurance problem tracking. So here you can mention few quality control logs, quality assurance logs about your project, about any modules, sub modules which are working in it. So this is the plan. So this plan you need to consider. First you study this plan, and considering this plan, how this plan will be fit in my particular problem statement, to check the quality of my project, to check the quality of the product which are going to be developed, right? So this way you have to make it. So this will be a brief one, up to few pages, 5 to 10 pages you can make this, and this particular poster you can make 3 to 4 pages, up to 5 is fine. Okay, 3 to 5 is fine for poster presentation, and for plan you can make up to 5 to 10 pages. Clear, everyone, what you need to do in this? And again, the deadline is in next couple of days. You have to submit it. Yes, any query, ask me. So I have given deadline of 22nd now.
Yes, sir.
So everyone has to work accordingly based on your problem statement. You need to discuss with your teams, with your group members, and then you have to make these plans. You have to make these posters, right? So the deadline is feasible to you for submission. Everyone will do in that deadline.
Sir, can you please extend till like next Monday? Can you give us 1 week? Because we have other subjects work also like CCN and LCA components.
Just a minute. I have to check it first. So 26th, you mean to say?
Yes, sir.
Next Monday is 26th. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but for at least out of two activity, poster and quality management plan, you can submit one, and then later on you can submit the second task up to 26. But don't wait for both the activities up to 26.
Okay, sir.
Yes or no? So you
Yes,
can
sir.
submit up to 23, 24, one of the activity. Remaining you can submit on, sorry, 25th. 25th is the Monday, January 25th, right?
Yes, sir.
Everyone make sure before that you have to submit it. Huh? Fine. So this is clear, everyone. Sonal, Rishabh, Akash, Sukre, Raj, Rishikesh, Nikhil.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I will start your unit 4, which is based on your project implementation plan and project closure. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in this particular unit, I'm going to discuss about project communication plan, how the project communication is happening, when it will be start, and how it proceed in the project communication things. So to do this requirement, software requirement specification, to do the development, all the activity, project communication play important role. And based on this project communication, the implementation plan is developed. Then administrative closures, how to complete any project related to administrative part, project evaluation and project audit. So what we learn from project, so it is considered in a project evaluation and project audit. Then understanding about the open source tool for project management like Open Project, Scora is one of the tools. There are other project manager.com is tool. So these tools will help us to do these project management things, to prepare the Gantt chart or to prepare the timeline, Gantt chart or timeline chart, also to prepare the different management, project management or resource allocation part using this tool. Then we'll see one case study on one particular project closure analysis report. So these things will be covered in the unit 4. So as you know, the project communication and project implementation plan will be important for a project manager. So as a project manager, he need to take care of all these things. To whenever the project communication is happening, the project manager or team leader is a key player in the project communication and implementation plan. So for any software project management, we'll first brief about the software project management, as this is important for making the project communication and project management. So in any software project, the three important things are considered. So whenever any software is developed, whenever any software is delivered, the important parameter for a project team or a project manager, the delivery should be on time. The development should be within the budget and in accordance with the customer's needs requirements. So for any software project development, these three important parameters are considered, and based on this, any software success is depend. So considering the project management is one of the important activity in this. There is software development is always subject to the budgets. So which development is there? So considering the budget of that software, they will do the development part based on the customer set of requirement and the scheduling constraints of it. They will make the plan and then they will develop it in the organization by considering the customer's point of view also. So in this project management also, the focus is on organizing, planning and scheduling software project. So few objectives are considered in any project management. The first important objective is to introduce that software project management and to describe the distinct characteristics of it. Then also we discuss the project planning and project planning process, how it proceeds further. Also, we can show how this graphical scheduling representation is used in project management as like a Gantt chart. And also we discuss about the risk, how to identify the risk, how to assess that risk, how to manage that risk, the risk management processes. So in management activities, few things are there in software project management activity, like a proposal writing is there. Project in proposal writing, what they will do in proposal writing, they will write a rough idea, rough draft about the projects. Then they will make a plan, project plan, we can say project planning activity, we can say. Then they will scheduling all the tasks, scheduling the activities. Then costing part is considered, a financial aspect is considered. In that financial aspect, the project cost will be calculated like module wise, and the project total cost will be calculated. And project monitoring and reviewing part, so as a project manager or a senior manager or a team leader, he has to monitor that activity, what's going on, what's development tasks are happening in a project. So project monitoring and reviewing will be taken care by the senior managers. Then personal selections and evaluation. So as a HR of any company, he has to take the sufficient resources, the staff resources available for the project. So if required, he can select few resources from uh, other projects or hire the new staff for the projects. Then report writing and the presentation. So at the last, whatever the development is done, whatever the project is completed for that particular project, the report is prepared. So that is called report writing task, and then the presenting to the senior authority, senior management about that project. This project is completed, or this project is completed in this way. This much is the profit of this project. These things are developed in this project, and then they will present to that management people, right? So management activities are there. So we will come to our project communication. So this is important part for any project. Communication is one of the important tool which enables the communication effectively on that particular project with the client. So project communication is nothing but the discussions which happens with the clients, with the team and other stakeholders. That is a part of your project communication. So why this project communication play an important role? Because this project communication will set clear guidelines about how this information will be shared, as well as who is responsible for which particular task, which customers is presenting that particular project from their side, and which is the manager or which is a software team member who is representing that organization. So all these things are clearly mentioned, and then based on that the proper communication is happening between the team members. Then project communication plan. So this project communication plan is prepared based on project communication, the project communication plan. So we can say before making actual project plan, the project communication plan is prepared. So this project communication plan is play important role in any software project. So this project communication plan is nothing but one of the written documentation which is prepared. Everyone can aware about that particular project plan. So this project plan will explain about the clear expectations about the customers, how and when the updates will be shared, how and when the deliverables are there, and it will be shared on which particular date, which versions will be developed, and then when it will be shared to the customers. So these things are clearly mentioned. Then it also gives the visibility about the project status to the customers, and one representative from the customer side is available with the software team members about uh, about knowing the status of the projects. Also it provides the opportunities or feedbacks to be shared with the team members whatever received from the customers, and also they will update about their feedbacks. Also boosting and productivity of team meetings is also important in communication plan. So daily meetings like scrum meeting, kanban meetings are taking care with the team members, ensuring also about the project continues, and it should be in line about the customers goals, customers requirements. So these things are considered, these are the important things will be considered in project planning. So the communication plan will include the variety of communication methods. So whenever they do the communication, they can do with the sending the email, through the meetings conduction in person, phone or video chat or video meetings. Then discussion boards, status reports will be there, collaboration apps are there, to-do list will be prepared, surveying is there, based on surveying they will do this communication method. So these are the different ways of communications which are done with the team or with the clients or the customers. Then this to make this project communication plan is a 5-step process. So the 5-step process will be start with this communication plan is first list your project communication needs. So whatever customers needs requirement will be jot down in a first important step. So this every project is different, and based on that customer's customized requirements, they will making a list of his needs, his requirements, and accordingly the size of the project will be considered, nature of the work being done, even the client's unique preferences into account, and determining which type of communication this project needs for the success can be considered in a first thing. So this is nothing but jot down the customer needs in a first phase about the project. Then define the purpose of it. Defining purpose about that software development for the client, which benefits that customer will get from that project. So purpose of the project will be defined first. Then based on that, there will be meetings are there with their teams, and then they will decide the purpose of it. In that, in the plans, ensure about every communication will be included for one particular reasons, and then whatever the agenda of that topic will be covered in each meetings, and the report is prepared for that particular purpose meetings. Defining purpose. And third important step is choose a communication methods. So to make that, choose a communication method. So which will be the best communication method? Either we go for video conferencing or one-to-one discussion or sending an email or video meeting. So that way they will decide it to have the good productivity about the development activities. Yes or no? So how they will touch with the clients through phone calls or through mails or through discussion media. That way they will decide the communication methods also out of available communication methods. So then set a cadence of communication. So in this, they will establishing the regular frequency communication, streamline for the process of setting clear expectations from set good with the clients. So they will set some deadlines, some strategy of uh, communication with the clients, and based on that, they will give that particular importance about the meeting and reports, and preparing the reports and informing to the customers. Then fifth step of project communication plan is identifying owner and the stakeholders about it. So ensuring about assigning the ownership, create that accountability, and so the careful crafting of the plan, each and its full potential is possible. So who is representing from a client side, okay, and based on that, as a project manager, he is also responsible to communicate with his team and with the clients. So in accordance with that particular thing, identifying the owner about and the owner about that particular development activity, and also the other stakeholders who is taking care by the project managers. So this is the last step of it in project communication plan. So this project communication plan is prepared with few examples. So this is a simple matrix of project communication plan with one example is given. So this is a communication which is happening. Then method of communication is written. Then frequency of this communication is written here. The goals which are considered in this particular communication meeting. Then owner of this meeting. Then audience who is attending this meeting. So take example of this project status report, sending through email weekly. It is done. Review project status and discuss the potential issues and delay about the project. Then project manager is the owner. Audience will be project team and the project sponsorer. So both the entities are there, project team and the sponsorer of that project. Similarly, team stand-up meetings are there. It is conducted daily by the project manager with the team members. Project review is also important part. It is in a form of meeting. It will check at milestone level, at present deliverables which is there, gathering the feedbacks and discuss about the next step, and who is the owner, project manager. And this project review is important, so project team and sponsor will be a participant in it. Then post-mortem meetings are taking at the end of the project. So what we learn from the project, so project manager will take care of it and assess what works and what did not work, and discuss actionable takeaways from these post-mortem meetings. Then project team is there. Task progress update. It is again the method will be team Gantt chart preparation through it daily, which is taking, and the project manager will be a owner. So in this daily sharing progress made on the project track will be considered, and the project team will be the audience. The next communication media communication plan example by considering different methods of it. Like one of the method communication is email, second method is a meeting, third is a team GAN with the help of it. So email will be done weekly. So with the project status report. Meetings, again meeting method will be done daily at milestone level or at the end of the project. GAN methods will be team GAN will be task progress update will be done daily. So this way we can it by considering different methods of communications. Then third example by audience, considering the audience. So here owner is the project managers. By considering that audience, so here project team is there. So all these tasks will be considered as an audience of project team. All these tasks will be considered as an audience project sponsorer. Why project sponsorer? Because he is interest in project status report and project review. So these are the two different audience. So by considering two different audience, we can bifurcate this particular project tasks. Is this clear up to this point? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So project communication plan by considering the audience is prepared in this way. So this the next important is after preparing communication plan, the implementation plan is prepared. So this implementation plan, why first we will see why there is a need of this implementation plan, how it is helpful, this implementation plan for the team members. So as we consider it is used as a supporting devices for all the strategic plan, because this implementation plan play important role for other plans also, and this implementation plan will gives us about what to be how to bring our strategic plan in working, and also breaking into identifiable steps which are going to be taken by the team members. So what need to be done in the project, how it is going to be done in a project, what things are carried out in the project, who is responsible for which particular type of the task in the project. So development, how the development will be proceed in the project. So these things are written and these things are mentioned in the implementation plan. This implementation plan is strategic planning is done on the organizational level, also at the company level, and allocating resources to make that particular strategy come into the reality. So this implementation plan will help us. Thus, this implementation plan will also help us to trace the edges of that particular actionable plans, mapping out how the best implementing the strategic plan from is outset, and how to effectively manages it and gets put into the place. So this implementation plan will help us based on the available resources, based on the available staff, how we can manage this particular project and how we can complete this project are going to be mentioned and written in the implementation plan. So this implementation plan play very important role for strategic planning for project completion. So this particular implementation plan will consider the few important parameters. So this implementation plan activities that ensure about the successful project delivery and stakeholder satisfaction. This is very important in any implementation plan. It should be the project should be delivered on time and customer should be satisfied on it. Then and then there is profit. Then and then there is use of that particular development. Then second important thing, applying the management best practices to initiate and carry out the closing of the project also. Best practices, best tools, technologies, modern tools, technologies will be implemented for it for implementation of the project plan. Then also it will make sure about organizing the procurement management activities, keep procurement documentation on track, preparing proper documentation of it. If required, any new things will be purchased for it for that particular project, like hiring the resources, purchasing the equipments will be taken care. Also it will manage the changes whenever there is change management. So for this change management is one of the plan. So this change management plan help us to managing all these changes, to make the changes in a requirement or any suggestions given by the clients. Next important thing in the implementation plan is about risk management techniques. So for this, they have to implement the all the risk management techniques which are available. First, for this, there is identification of risk. As you know, there are different types of the risk: project risk, business risk, and these risks will be identified in the project, and then on the basis of this risk identification, they will prepare the risk mitigation, monitoring, and management plan. First, they will try to avoid the risk and to manage the risks. The next important thing, they will define the project scope and scheduling the duration, and based on individual task will be identified and given that individual task to the team members, and then time management will be taken care through the Gantt chart preparation. Then also in this implementation plan, they will monitor all these tools, technologies, controlling all this progress of the development activity. As a senior manager also, or as a project manager, he is taking off controlling and monitoring activity of this implementation plan. The next important thing is recognizing the best practices and project quality control and management, which leads to improved quality and deliverable levels. So can we use any good quality tools, any good quality software products which help us for their development activity, and which can help us to check the quality of the product, and then we can deliver the product on time. So it can be also considered, and it can be also used in that. The next important thing, the essential of the project implementation plan. So in the project, few essentials are there: success above all. So first important step is essential is success above all. It means that whatever that implementation plan of your project is designed to ensure about the success of the project, realization about project goals and deliverables. So ultimate goal of the project implementation plan is success of the project. They will make sure about the success of the project, how we can achieve all the project goals, and how we can deliver that product to the customer, and customer will be satisfied on that goal, and we can get the success in that particular project. So successful implementation will be considered in success above all. Next, minimize the risk. Second important essential of the project implementation plan, they try to avoid the risk, they try to minimize the risk by validating the industrial standards steps, by using it project implementation process. So it is taking care about the risk management plan also in the implementation itself. The next important, deliverable specific. Deliverable specific is nothing but, as we know, focusing on specific tasks, focusing on specific needs, requirement of the customer. They will prioritize that requirement by considering that client's need, what will be required at the first stage, and then that will be the first delivery of the product. Considering the banking software, so in a banking software, if they wanted to develop a banking app, so first thing they will go for the login details, and then the customer profile is there. After getting that customer profile login details, then the second deliverables will be adding few functionalities into it. After doing that, then the payment gateway development is there to transfer the payments or to receive the payments. Then third, to make a CC or to make a different accounts like saving account, current account, or to make fixed deposit. So these new functionalities will be added in a new deliverable. So based on its what we can say needs requirement, the deliverables will be developed. Specific deliverables will be developed. Then scalable. So the product will be scalable. So it will be done in such a way that the product will be scalable. So in future, any updates, any new changes is there, so it should be scalable in the same product. So that is taking care in the scalability of the product development in a project implementation plan. And complete and comprehensive, whatever that plan, it should be complete. It should be complete from considering, including all the things like project implementation, in that performance parameters, reliability parameters, scalability parameter, proper coordination, collaboration, actions about the team members, communication of the results with the stakeholders. Managing expectation versus actual outcomes will be mentioned in that. So the plan will be complete. It should be comprehensive and completed, because based on this implementation plan, the project manager or the team members will aware about all the things which are going to be happen in the projects. So that for that reason, this implementation plan is helpful for them. This was the last slide about in the implementation plan. There are few implementation plan templates are there. I will go through that templates. But before that, the 5 essentials are understood. Success above all. Important parameter, the first essential parameter, the focus is about the success of the project, how we can get the 100% success in a project. Then minimize the risk, try to minimize the risk. Delivery specific product development, product should be scalable and it should be complete and comprehensive. These 5 essentials are considered whenever they are going to develop the implementation plan. Okay, so as a project manager, he has to take care of all these things. Any difficulty up to this point? Yes. So I will start with the project implementation plan template. So this is one implementation plan template. So the implementation plan template will be prepared in this way. Name of the project is given here, then version, then date of that particular version, then version history is written in that version name, implemented by whom, the revision date, approval by who has approved, and approval date and the reason of it is mentioned here in a tabular form. Then notes about the author to understand about the project implementation plan. It will tells us about when using this template, the following steps will be recommended for this particular thing. Then these will be the table contents. It will start with the introduction, purpose, system overview, management overview, then implementation supports, and then the implementation requirements by site. This way it is prepared by considering all these parameters. We will see one by one. So first, the purpose of the implementation plan, describing about the plan, identifying the systems to be implemented in this system overview. A brief system overview is given about the implementation plan. Then system descriptions, system description is given about the process which are intended, which are developed in this particular system. Assumptions and constraints about scheduling, budget, resource allocation, software and other tools, and constraints about the product interface. The system organization related to that system organization, available components will be considered. Then management overview, considering the implementation part, description about the implementation, how we can going to implement it, points of contract with that. Then here the resource allocation is considered, the role of it, name of it, and contact person, like business sponsor. This is the name of business sponsor and contact number of it. So whenever any doubts comes, business sponsor will handle that particular. Related to the project manager will do that thing. Related to the quality assurance manager is taking care of it. Related to the security officer, database administrator, that way it will be given, which are carried out in the project. It can be given here. The implementation schedule is there, when and within that particular, then security features will be written down. Implementation support, so hardware, software, facilities and materials. So hardware required, the software required for the project, the facilities given for the project development, the material available for the implementation of the project, documentation which is prepared for that project. Related to the personnel, describing committed and proposed staffing requirement will be considered here in the person. How how much staff will be required, so staffing requirement. Then training required for the staff, implementation staff. Outstanding issues will be considered in this. Implementation impact. In the implementation impact, what will be the impact of this project will be considered here on the network infrastructure, supporting staff or the community or etc. Then performance monitoring will be considered. As a project manager, he has to monitor all these things in performance monitoring and controlling. Configuration management, whatever changes are done, So that are under the configuration management. Implementation requirement sites will be considered. Site name or identification of that site name is given. Site requirements will be given for it. Site implementation details also mentioned here. Risk available, contingencies about the risk, implementation, verification, validation is also taking care. Then acceptance criteria of the plan. So what will be the acceptance criteria of the customers will be considered here. Then finally appendix will be prepared, different appendix with that project implementation plan approval, the signature of it, printing of that document, title of it, role of it, and the date of it is written here. Similarly, the references which are used for the plan development, key terms which are used in the implementation plan is considered here. Then this is system hardware inventory which are used. So ID, type, model, version, physical location, equipments, maintenance contract points, required license for it. System software inventory required to the software resources. So this way the implementation plan is prepared, and this implementation plan will help us to all the team members to understand about all the software, hardware and roles and responsibilities of the team members for implementation of this plan. This is clear? Any difficulty up to this point?
No, sir.
So so I have mentioned that particular implementation plan as a separate template document to understand it, how the implementation plan is prepared.